Hey there, guys, it's Mia here. I am so excited. I am so excited about this live tonight. I'm going to teach very simply 5 beliefs that are keeping you from your next level. 5 simple beliefs that are keeping you from your next level. I'm Mia Redrick, business and life consultant, and I got started in my company over 20 years ago, and I simply made a decision to go to work as myself. I wanted to figure out how to take my background as a corporate trainer and my systems in motherhood and how to package those things into a business. And I've done exactly that. Fast forward, I've had the opportunity as a result of building an amazing coaching business, a brand, to get signed to Emmy nominated nationally syndicated shows, to equally do corporate deals with Fortune 100 and 500 companies, building the business around my intellect. And today, what I do is I pay it forward. I teach and coach and share with other women who also want to take their expertise, their education, their background, and their gifts. And they want to know how to take what they know and put it into a monetizable structure. And it's my honor to do that. I've coached thousands of women, and many of them have had the opportunity to take their knowledge and instead of trading time for dollars, selling what they know for, by the hour, $100 an hour or $200 an hour, they now sell what they do as a package: $2,500, 5 grand, 10 grand, $20,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars per client. And it's my honor to be able to show other women it doesn't have to be this hard. Now, if you're watching this replay, great. I'm so excited that you're here also. Do me a favor, if you're watching live, make sure you share or tag another friend that you know will benefit. I'm so excited to be here tonight. I'm going to share very simply 5 beliefs that keep women from their next level. And I'm all about your next level. And those of you who've been following me, you know it, you've seen it. All right. I'm totally into it. And I know that over the next couple of weeks, it is the only thing that is on your mind is thinking about what is the next year going to look like and how can you show up bigger and taller and bodacious for yourself and for your dream. And yes, I did say bodacious. And why do I say that, right? I say it because your big dream is bodacious, right? To have the audacity to dream really big and huge for yourself, to me, is such an incredible gift. Dreaming small doesn't take any additional effort, but dreaming big, hey there, darling. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm talking about a giant. You're a giant in every single way. I'm so excited to be here tonight to be able just to share these 5 simple beliefs. So as always, if you're ready, okay, I'm ready. Okay, if you're ready, I want you to write, I'm ready, because you have to be ready to receive a powerful message. And even if you're watching the replay, write, I'm ready, because you do need to be ready to receive. Here's number 1. I'm sharing today beliefs, the 5 beliefs that I think are the top beliefs that keep us from our next level and how to overcome them. Number 1 is that everything has to be perfect in order for you to start. Okay, that every single thing needs to be perfect in order for you to start. Hey there, Joyce, good to see you. Everything has to be perfect. So I want you to take a look at the screen right now and notice something is missing. Is something missing? All right, I got something missing. Okay, and what do you see that's missing? Right? 1 earring. All right. And so what if I had this idea that in order for me to go live and to reach my audience, that I have to have 2 earrings, right? Things have to be perfect. And a lot of times what I see with brilliant, sharp, and amazing women, because they have that gift to deliver at the highest level, they are also the ones that judge themselves. And they often don't launch as quickly as they should because they think everything has to be perfect. Every single thing has to be just right, but it doesn't. And the truth of the matter is your audience needs you right now. They need you as you are. You will grow into whatever the shoes are, whatever's necessary for you to build that business, to build that brand, to launch that business, to close whatever it is. And this idea of getting things just right and always teetering and working on it, but never actualizing the goal by reaching out and connecting with the people that you're meant to serve is the reason why a lot of people never get to the next level. Good is good enough. Yep, I said it. When I got started in my business and I got signed to my first television show, I had no real TV experience. So if I thought that I needed that in order for me to launch. I would have never begun to step into what my next level looked like. Often, your next level will expose you to gifts and talents that you aren't even aware that you have at the highest level because they're not tested. So, this notion in this upcoming year for you to this belief, right? That I want to get to my next level, but I got to get it just right. It's got to be the right time. I've got to have you know what I mean? Everything's got to be positioned just right. Tommy needs to be in school. Yeah, I just gave your kid a name, right? Tommy needs to be in school. He needs to be in 10th grade or 11th grade. You need to launch right now. I started my business when my youngest son was an infant. And my goal for myself was I want to create a transition plan. By the time Matthew is in school all day, I want to have figured out how to run this business as a full-time entrepreneur. I started right then. I didn't wait for the perfect moment. I didn't wait until I had all the resources in the world to get started. I launched right now. Does that make sense? Number one, does that make sense? Number two, all right. We're talking about the 5 beliefs that I think get in the way of the next level. All right. And number two, the second thing is that you think you need more than you need to launch. All right. So sometimes we don't move because we want everything just right. Number one. But number two is sometimes we have a belief that we need more than we need. And I will tell you that likely you can launch with what you have right now. I meet people all the time who have said to me over the years, I want to go back to school, I want to get this other certification, I got to get these things lined up so that I can be ready to serve people at this level. And I want to write my book first before I decide to coach and all these things. And the truth of the matter is, those are beliefs that do not serve your next level. You can launch with your education, your background, and your skills that you have already. It's more than enough. You're more than prepared. All of your years of experience, like literally have prepared you for this moment. And so this idea that, you think that you need something else is an excuse. And a lot of times we hide behind those excuses so that we don't have to launch. And yes, I'm calling you out because we're talking tonight about hitting your next level. And I do know that one of the biggest reasons that people don't get to their next level is they're always thinking they need something else, that they're not ready, they're not good enough, or maybe they survey the people who are in their world and those people say, well, how are you going to launch this or do that? And I always say, think about the people who you're asking advice from. Are those people that are big dreamers who have launched and faced their own fears themselves? Because the advice that I'm going to give you is going to be congruent with what I give myself. You have to actually understand that what people are saying to you when they give you advice, they're not talking to you. They are talking to themselves. So the advice that someone's going to give you is going to be based on their ability to face their fears and overcome them. It's going to be based on their own risk tolerance. So if you're asking people who are really conservative, who've never stepped out there in the big scheme of things, who've never been creative at the highest level, who have never employed self-trust at the greatest level, then those individuals are going to advise you and they're going to start questioning you and punching holes in what you're doing as if it cannot work. And Robin writes, absolutely, giants need to talk to other giants. And as you know, I have an appetite for giants, right? Like literally my clients call themselves giants and I only work with giants. And I can tell you, and I know for sure that the reason that my clients create amazing results is because they shatter those beliefs. They say yes, and then they figure it out. And it's an honor to work with people who are like that, who don't make excuses. Number 3, we're talking today very simply about the 5 beliefs that I think get in the way of your next level. And I've already covered number 1, believing that everything's got to be exactly perfect or just right in order for you to start. And number 2 is you thinking that what you have right now, your gifts, your talents, all of these years of experience isn't enough. But it is. Okay, it is. All right. And don't allow that excuse to get in your way. Number 3 is that building your dream has got to be hard. Oh my goodness, guys. It doesn't. Okay. And so I believe that you can build your business based on ease and grace. And it's how I've built my business over the years. And so I am not a big fan of, having to do a whole lot of challenges or having to do a lot of blogging or a lot of anything. in order for me to be able to serve my clients at the highest and tallest level. And I know for a fact that that belief, and not only that belief, but that belief in action has changed my life. It changed the way that I was working. Let me just tell you a story, personal story. When I got started in business, my model was really informed by the fact that I had come from a significant corporate background. And I knew what it was like to trade time for dollars, to get paid for 50 hours, right? And work 70 hours a week. And I didn't see how that was ever going to end for me if I didn't change something. And I decided that I wanted to work with ease and grace. I wanted to build a business that would allow me to be available to my family. And I've done exactly that. And I literally said, let me think about how I want to live first. Like, date my husband in the middle of the day, have the time to see my kids during the day when they were younger in school, when I could volunteer a lot, in their school. I started thinking about like my ideal work time and schedule around the things that mattered the most to me. I wanted to build the business only working with women that really wanted it. And I didn't want to work with people who didn't want it. I didn't want to work with people who I would say weren't kind people, or weren't, loving people, or weren't highly actionable people. And I really just started thinking about all those kinds of things. And as a result of that, today I built a business and a work life that's unrecognizable. I teach women how to renegotiate the way that they've earned. And if you're looking around thinking, I love what I do, I don't like how I'm doing this, I don't like the way that I'm doing it, I don't like who I'm doing this with, I'm telling you that it's absolutely possible for you to change that. But I had to change my beliefs from believing that the only way to work was what I had seen, right? What I had fallen into, right? And everybody in my world were minions in that sense, in that world, in that belief system. And the idea that I wanted to work 20 years ago from the comfort of my home was like a foreign thought to so many. But I want you to know it's possible. And I want you to believe bigger for yourself, believe bigger for your dreams. And if I can support you in any way in helping you to renegotiate that model, figure out how to package your knowledge into a high ticket structure on or offline, hit us on the inbox, or you can always go to miaredrick.com and you can sign up for a strategy session right there. Number 4, we're talking today about the 4 beliefs that get in the way of your next level. And one of the biggest things that I hear from people is that it's too late to start. Like, oh man, like I've got 20, 30 years doing this thing. And like, can I do something new now? Yes, you absolutely can. And you have to give yourself permission to step into the new. I work with a lot of women who have decided in their retirement to change everything. Many of them have created a different stream of income for themselves. Many of them have decided to pursue a deep-seated passion for them that they always wanted to pursue, but never had the courage or maybe the expertise or the mentorship to go forward in. It's never too late. And I want you to understand it's never too late. I see it. I'm a witness. I've coached thousands of women. I've watched so many of these women literally change their lives by simply changing their choices and their beliefs around that it's not too late, right? And Robin says, you'll surprise yourself because you have so many gifts. And you do. You have so many gifts. And we see it on our coaching calls each and every week. Clients are amazing, knocking the ball out of the park, surprising themselves. And, and it's interesting. I think that being in a circle of other women, your own ambition level and above, is so powerful, because being in a circle like that, even if you can't believe big for you, if you watch a colleague, another member inside of a coaching and mentorship community who's knocking it out the park, it really shows you what's possible. So let me talk about that for a minute, because I actually only work with giants, right? And I will only work with a giant, and I only will mentor with someone that is a giant. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. The reality is that, giants, they do things differently, right? They stand tall in their gifts and their capacity. And most of the time, my clients have done things that I have never done in the same time frame. I have clients that have done all kinds of amazing things as a result, and I love it and I celebrate them. When you are in a community with people your own ambition level and above, it grows you, it exceeds you. When you're mentoring people who are doing the exceedingly abundantly beyond anything you could ever ask or think, it is mind-blowing. And one of the things that I love about working with giants specifically is that if you do that inner work, you never are feeling insecure or doubtful or jealous of the success that's around you. In fact, it is something that stokes your fan. Seeing someone else's candle lit is the thing that lights your candle. You realize that that is possible. I watch women who have never sold before anything, who watch someone else who's never sold anything before close something huge. And as a result of that, they're inspired to do the same. And if you don't have a community like that, if you don't have people like that in your life, in your world, you need to get them. Get people like that. And we've got an amazing community of giant women like that. And conversely, if you're in a community or you're mentoring with anyone who is jealous of you, who's insecure, or you be your big, bodacious, and amazing self, then it's time for you to make a change. Because the reality is that there's so much for you. And when you go into the right rooms, the right communities, no one's putting a cap on you and no one's trying to mute you. Or I know a lot of times people experience this in their work environment. They can't be their full selves. But life is all about being all of who you are and understanding that, trusting your gut to know when it's time to move from where you are to where you need to be, because you are growing. It's really, really important. And number 5, we're talking about the 5 beliefs that I think are the top beliefs that get in the way of your next level. Are you guys getting value? Are you getting value? And if you're watching the replay, I want to hear from you. Yep, if you're getting value, I want you to write, I am getting value. And be sure also to share with others who you think will benefit as a result of hearing this. Don't keep all the goodness to yourself, okay? Number 5, all right? And the 5th thing, let me see if I can read what I wrote. This is so funny. Sometimes me in this little handwriting, right? Like I gotta look like, can you guys see this? Okay. Okay. The 5th thing is that you can't replace your income. And I will tell you that this is one of those deep-seated beliefs that a lot of times when people get started in business, they believe like, there's no way I'm going to be able to replace my income. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to hit 6 figures or more. There's no way I'm going to be able to close a multi-million-dollar deal. There's no way, right? And a lot of times we have these deep-seated beliefs, and I'll tell you why. It usually comes from either your association. We're a product of our association. The things that we association is like the things you look at the TV, things you read, people you hang out with, things like that, right? That's dominant association. So if you're in association, in community with people who don't reach bigger, and you never see that happen, that's part of why that's a belief that you have. The other piece is also around esteem. Sometimes we don't know our own value. We just don't know what our capacity is. And because we don't know what that capacity is, we limit it. I see it all the time. I have clients who will come to me and they want to charge $5,000 for something that should be $10,000, or they want to charge $10,000 for something that should be $40,000, or whatever it is, right? So the truth of the matter is, we have these beliefs that, like, if I do this, am I really going to be able to replace my income? Am I really going to be able to eventually work from the comfort of my home? So we don't have that belief or trust in ourselves, because maybe, just maybe, the things that you've been doing up until now have just been killing time. So I'm going to break this down. This might hurt somebody's feelings, but I always keep it 100%. If what you've been doing has been busy work, okay, so let's say someone told you to blog, right? Like, you're going to blog your way to 6 figures, and you've done it to the letter and it didn't work for you. It's one of the reasons why you're not trusting yourself. But I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you. It was literally what you were taught is not the way to do this. It's not the fastest and the quickest way. We have a lot of clients that have hit 6 figures in a relatively short period of time. We have clients that have hit 6 figures in 6 weeks to 1 year. Like, a lot of clients that do that. And the truth of the matter is that they too, when they started thinking that this is going to be hard. Like, I don't know if this is possible, but they leaned into a formula that worked. Instead of them trying to sell what they had. Let's assume that you're talented, you're smart, you're sharp, you've got amazing skills. And instead of you selling what you want to do for $150 a client prop by the hour, that you really start to look at, fully value all the transformation you bring to the table. The reason that clients don't hit their goals isn't because of your skill or your talent. It's usually because of bad advice, also bad execution, and not really understanding how to fully value what you bring to the table. You do not have to be anything other than who you are to hit your goals. In fact, the more authentic you are, the more true to who you are, the more your ideal clients will come forward and they will choose you. Every single day we have people who write us, who reach out to us. Why? Because they see a video, me being myself, sharing what I do. And as a result of it, they want to work with me. And every single thing I teach my clients is not hype. It's not something I've read. And it's certainly not something I've ever stolen. It is what I've done myself. It's what I created myself. I only teach what works. And the reason my clients create amazing success is because I'm only showing them what to do with that, that I actually did. So I hope that supports you in some way, because the truth of the matter is that you can replace your income. It is going to take work. Okay. You do need to know the direct step by step. And I do recommend, if you're looking for a mentor, look for proof, ask for proof, like literally look to see. There should be testimonials. We have hundreds of them, of clients who share their story of not just some small thing that they've done. Like, I've just got my website built. Listen, just because you have a website built, great. But my clients, many of them sell without a website. You don't need a website to sell something. All right. You need a high-end product, an idea, a proprietary system, understand how to build your system based on all your years of experience. And you need to know the best approach to be able to do that, how to package what you know at the highest level, how to price what you know how to do, not Google searching what other people are doing to figure out your prices, to understand how to value the transformation you bring. You need to know how to position yourself in the marketplace so that competition is irrelevant. And let's be clear, there are going to be tons of people who are thinking they're competing with you, and you let them think that. The reality is, what I want you to do is focus on what you know how to do, close, create amazing results, and competition is always irrelevant. And I also want you to understand how to sell and how to close, because you can be amazing at what you do, but if you don't know how to close a client, if you don't know what that is or what that means, then you need a formalized process to teach you that's distinct to you and your company. And that doesn't have to be some convoluted funnel. It could be nice and clean and very, very simple for you to get in front of your ideal clients. And I hope that there's something that I've said to you today that shook your shoulders a little bit. Okay, they got you to understand that you absolutely can replace your income. And I think that the coolest part is thinking about, what would your life look like, 6 weeks from now or 3 months from now, if you just stepped into what you know works, instead of wishing and hoping and saying, I'm going to do this, what if you just made that call? What if you just made that investment? What if you just signed up today for whatever it is that's going to move you in that direction of what it is that can make all the difference? I want to open the floor and get your ahas and your takeaways today. I did a simple live on the 5 beliefs that I think are the top beliefs that get in the way of the next level. And these are just based on the things that I've seen over the years, the things that I've heard from clients and prospects over the years that keep them from realizing their fullest potential. And I'm in the potential business. Like, let's be clear that my clients come full of potential. All right. And that's so amazing when clients have potential and they're ready to actualize it by doing the work. The first thing I talked about today is that if you have that belief that everything's got to be perfect to get started, that belief is not real. It's not serving you. Number 2, if you have the belief that you think you need more of something in order for you to start, like more education, a certification, something you need, a website or whatever it is, you can start right where you are. You have more than what you need. Number 3, that in order for you to build your dream business, it's got to be hard. It doesn't. I'm going to just challenge you all around that. I teach my clients how to build their business, not on the hard. but how to build it with ease and grace. And if that is your love language, then you should reach out to us. And number 4, that it's too late for you to get started. You're like, look, I'm retired. I don't know, I don't know technology. It's too late. It's not too late. I have lots of clients in their 50s, clients in their 60s who are crushing it, like knocking it out the park. Okay. And you can too. And number 5, and that you can't replace your income. Like maybe you have that belief, like, if I do this, can I make money? Because maybe somebody told you to do something and you didn't make any money. You know what I mean? And I always say, like, I'm not interested in my clients having, you can do some things that give you vanity success, but it's not real success. You know what I mean? So your life doesn't change, right? So you do something and you feel like, oh, look at what I just did. And it gives you vanity success, but it doesn't give you real success. Like at the end of the day, it's like, did anybody sign up? You know what I mean? But it, so you want to make sure that the strategies that you employ, the things that you learn are things that really work. And I think that ideally your mentors and your coaches will have evidence that those things do work. If something works, there's going to be proof that it works. And if it's worked and it's been ongoing, there's going to be old proof, meaning a history of the results. And there's also going to be current proof, right? Because it's ongoing success. If you go to my YouTube channel at Mia Redrick, right, and you see all the hairdos, you're like, there's a history of success here, right? Because it's like a gazillion hairdos. Hey, Lisa, I didn't know you were here. It's not too late, 60 here and moving differently, because I'm thinking like a giant and I love it. Any ahas or takeaways, right? Any ahas or takeaways from being here tonight? I'm so excited. I am so excited to be here tonight and just to be able to share these beliefs with you. My only goal is to shake your shoulders a little bit. We're going into a new year, but I think every day is a new year, right? And you have a tremendous opportunity to choose powerfully for yourself, and nothing will change unless you make the decision to choose powerfully for yourself. And I would say choices should be tall, not short. Your choices for yourself should be tall. Owning your bigness is your responsibility. What am I talking about? I'm not talking about owning your ego or stroking your ego. I'm talking about knowing what you're good at and being comfortable in your skin to say, like, this is what the world needs from me because this is my mastery. This is my gift. Who else is going to say it? If you can't say it, how would the client know that that's what your gift and your talent is? Get yourself in rooms and spaces with other people who celebrate your brilliance and your expertise, who can make room for that. And I love being in a community like that. We have a fire call with clients once a week. And it's amazing working with giants, amazing women who have said yes to themselves without excuses, who have shown up for themselves, who have operated in the faith realm forever, which is amazing. And I just love it. So, all right, last call. Any final questions, thoughts, ahas, or takeaways? I want to thank you for being here today. And if you're watching the replay, yep, I want to see your questions and I want to see your takeaways also. Robin writes, go big or go home, maximize your gifts, right? I love that, right? Like, isn't it about going big? Like imagine like living your life and just saying, I'm gonna go big for me, right? Like I'm gonna swing for the fence for me. Okay, I'm gonna use all the talents and the gifts that I have for me, for my dream. Like how amazing. And understanding that when we go for that dream, our family, they're the benefactors of our growth. They're the benefactors of our success. So when women say to me, like, I'm doing this for my kids, or I'm putting my life on hold because I got to wait till so-and-so graduates or whatever. And I think to myself, so in essence, what you're modeling is that we both can't succeed at the same time. See, I want my kids to see me grow while they're growing. The investments that I'm making in my children, I'm also making in myself. And I want them to see who I really am. Okay. I don't want to tell them the story of what I wanted to do. I want to show them what I actually actualize through my actions and my habits. And I know that this is speaking to somebody out there that's been making an excuse, been using your kids as an excuse. I always say to people when they say, I'm doing this for my kids, I always say, What did you do last week for your kids? How many people did you call? What did you launch? What did you work on in a consistent way? Is it done? Because if it isn't, maybe your kids are not your reason. See, when I got started in my business, I did not build my business for my kids. I didn't, or my husband for that matter. I built it for my freedom. See, I knew my kids were going to get an amazing education and be loved and cared for by my husband, whether or not I did anything in business. But what I didn't know was how was I going to get myself free, right? And I had to see that way forward. You got to have the right why. And when you have that right why, you'll do what it takes. And if you're not doing what it takes, it's probably because you've got the wrong why. You've got a noble one, but is it your reason? And then Joyce writes, Joyce, I like your hair. I refined my target audience from this conversation, and I believe it will move me along faster. Working with people who want it, the right audience is everything. I work with most of my clients are believers, and they're highly actionable, smart, sharp, amazing women who know that they're gifted and talented, and they're looking to figure out how can they take all these years of experience and package it. Many of them don't have products when they come to me because they are the product. And that's part of the brilliance of the work, is to help them realize how to take what they're doing and put it in a structure that's their own. Not like every single person. Not everybody that I work with wants to be a coach. Not everybody wants to be a consultant. Not everybody wants to be a trainer, right? Not everybody wants to sell course online. It's really understanding based on your skills and your talents. How do you want to leverage your skills and your talents in your life and in your world and show up for yourself? So I am so excited to have been here tonight. I thank you for joining me. I appreciate you for being here. Robin writes, you are the brand. Absolutely. You are the brand. You are the brand. You are the business. And that's why you have to own your bigness. You've got to own the parts of you that are very, very talented and skilled and gifted. I know people say to me all the time, like, man, you're so confident. How do you get confident? Confidence comes by doing. Okay. Confidence comes from doing something. Insecurity comes from not doing it. Okay. You know what I mean? Watching it. But confidence comes by doing it. And, it's interesting, like being able to be in a position in your life and in your heart and in your world where you just trust yourself, right? Like, isn't that a great gift to give yourself, to be in a place in your life and in your mind and in your heart to trust yourself and know that the gifts that you've been given by God are more than enough to take you on any journey that you want to go, right? To know that the vision that you have and that you see in your mind's eye, that there's alignment and congruency based on the skill sets that you have. And so if you have not been thinking that way, I hope that there's something that I've said to you tonight to get you to say, wow, that you're talking directly to me. And like I said, I'll post a link for my webinar. It's 100% free here. Sign up for the webinar, watch it for 45 minutes, gives you some basic ideas on how to take your knowledge and package you as a brand, how to price what you're doing, how to position yourself, and how to find buyers. I'm so excited to have been here tonight. I love you, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a good night.